Hello everyone. Till now we have covered 3 lectures of programming and data structure modules. Today we are going to talk about some other features present in Python, as because we are also covering that programming concept. Today's topic will be file handling in Python, error handling in Python, and OOPS concept, that is object oriented programming concept in Python. Now in file handling, when we try to create any particular file or open any particular file, we give a file name within a function called open. Open function opens the file in the current directory, and if the file is not present in the current directory, then we can specify the path, and using the open function we can open that particular file which is specified within the open function in the read mode or RT, that is also equivalent to the read mode. Or else, if we want to open the file and will write something, we have to open the file with W, that is write in text mode. Then if we open it R+B, it will open in read and write in binary mode. Okay, binary mode means that is 0 and 1. Here you can say that we have given an example img.bmp, which is opened as R+B mode because the file BMP file is bitmap, that is represented using the binary number. Then again we can open a particular file, like we can see from this example test.txt, comma mode is equal to R, that is read mode, and encoding UTF, and it is a format of encoding, so we can open the file like this as well. Or by default we know it is opened in R or RT mode, that is read mode, and we can specify the encoding is equal to UTF-8. f.close perform file operation to close. Now here f represents the object of the file. Now if we talk about the different mode in which we can open the file, that is R mode, W mode, X mode, A mode, T mode, and B mode, and plus. That means R mode opens the file in reading, W mode opens the file in write mode, X is opening the file which does not exist. If we give or if we try to open a file which does not exist, then X mode exclusively create that file and then open. In earlier case R or W, if the file does not exist, it will give an output that file does not exist. But X will exclusively create that particular file. If it does not exist, then open it. And A is used for the appending. That means if we want to add something, add some content into the file at the end, then we can use the append mode. Then T opens the file in text mode, that is a default mode, and B opens the file in binary mode, and plus activates the read and write. Here you can see the read mode is given R, R plus, W plus, A plus, X plus. A is the append mode and X is the exclusive mode, and R is the read mode, R plus. Now you can see right, we can also open the file in W, and same if we open it R plus, both are same. Then W plus, both are same, read write. A is same, write mode. A plus, again it is read plus write. X plus, again it is read plus write mode. To create, we use W mode, W plus mode, A mode, A plus mode, and X mode and X plus mode. Pointer position start, that means the file pointer will indicate at the start point when we open a file in R mode or R plus mode, W mode or W plus mode, X mode or X plus mode. Pointer position to the end, A and A plus will indicate the end position of the pointer. Truncate and clear the content. Suppose a file which is opened, it is having some content, and if we again open the file in write mode and we try to write something, then the previous content will be erased or clear. In case of R and R plus mode, the file name which we are mentioning within the open function has to exist. That means it must exist, otherwise it will give an error. Must not exist, that means if the file is not existing, there will not be a problem. If we open the file in X or X plus mode, that is exclusively if the file does not exist, it will create the file and it will perform the operations. Here we can see some example. Suppose we have opened test.txt file in W mode, that is write mode. Here we can write f.write function. Whatever contents previously is existing, it will be erased and content will be clear, and the new content, whatever we are writing, that will be written in the file. So if we write my first line \n, now it will \n will give the new line character. So it will go to the second line. So from second line this file will be written, and then 2 line gap then because 2 backslash n has been given, then contains 3 lines, it will give the output like that. So my first line, my first file, then a single line, next line, then this file, then next line, then another next line, then contains 3 lines. So this will be the content of the test.txt. Now we open the same test.txt in R mode, means read mode. We want to read the file. Here we are using f.readLine. That means line by line it will read and it will return. f.tell, it tells the current position of the cursor. f.seek is a very important function, bring the current position of the cursor. Bring the current cursor position means, suppose my current cursor position is at 10 and if we give f.seek 2, then the cursor position will be at a 2, position 2. And f.readLine actually giving us the single line, and f.readLines, all the lines will be read and will be given to us, or means it will show as an output. And also we can specify print f.readLines within bracket 10, that means readLine will return 10 lines, first 10 lines from the cursor position. Then f.close, it is a function which closes the streaming of the cursor. Then again we can open f is equal to open and test.txt and in write mode R. Now this particular example, the last one, for lines in f. Lines actually is a variable name we have given. Lines in f, in is the membership operator and f is an object to that particular file. That means it will stream. So it will be the buffer, means text.txt stored somewhere, and this particular buffer is trying to read from the file and will give us the output in the output stream. So for lines in f, lines comma end is equal to, then single quote, open and close. So it will print from the first line to the last line. Here in file handling in Python, there are certain functions which are very important to know, that is close. It flushes and closes the file object. That means in the previous example we have discussed that f is the stream or the buffer which actually communicating with the file, that flushes, this close flushes the buffer, means it is clear now. And detach function separates buffer from text stream and returns the buffer, means whatever will be the in buffer, that will be returned. File no, file number, file no actually file number, returns the file's descriptor in if available, means what is the file and what is the description of the file, what kind of file it is, so everything will be returned. Then flush, flushes the write buffer not available for read-only objects. So here you can see, if we open the file in W mode so that write buffer will be flushes out. That means whatever content will be in the write buffer, that will be erased. Is ATTY is a function which checks if the file stream is interactive or not. And then read int, it is the integer number of character at most. It will read. Readable checks if an object is readable or not. Suppose if we are trying to open a file and we have created one object f, and it will check, the readable function can check f.readable whether the f can be readable or not. Read line, we have already discussed it, that read line within bracket 10 if we give, then the first 10 lines will be read starting from the current cursor position. Then read lines, we can specify number of lines it should read, or else it will return the entire lines present in the file. Then seek, we can place the cursor position using the seek. Seekable checks if the file object supports random access or not. It tells the current cursor position in the string. Truncate, it resizes the file stream to bytes or current position if unstated and returns the size. So truncate will, if we specify certain bytes, it will truncate it from the file stream and will return. Then write string, the string which we want to write within the file, that will be read, that will be written on the file. Writable checks whether the file object allows writing or not. Write lines list, that means it returns the lines to the stream without a line separator. Okay, so this is very important. Then we talk about error handling in Python. It is also very important. When we talk about the error handling, it means suppose we want to divide any number using 0, it should return an error. So system defined error we can have, but if we want to return it and mention the statement as per the user is required, so then we use this error handling. It actually helps the program to run uninterruptedly, as because error handling provides the output we should mention if the error occurs. Now it actually is written, suppose if we give try, it's a block, try block, and within that we are considering one input and one number we have given, then break, then except value error, oops, that was no valid number. So suppose we are checking whether a number is an integer or not, then this particular code segment will give the output. If it is not a number, will give the output that is not a valid number. Then raise name error. Explicitly the error name can be raised. The sole argument to the raise indicates the exception to be raised. This must be either an exception instance or an exception class. And open, like we see within the try block, we have given open and database.sqlite, and except OS error, raise runtime error unable to handle. That means if the database is not available, then this runtime error can be raised and the statement will be unable to handle the error. Then again, within the try block, we can use type error, bad type, or else accept exception as dot add note. So here we are creating an object of exception, then dot add note add some information and dot add note add some more information. So these are the two statements will be printed. Then if we want to print only that will also be printed. So we using the print So raise type error, bad type we can give within the try block, then within accept exception as will return the particular error with a statement, or we can mention raise type error, bad type. Here we come to the important concept called object oriented programming concept in Python, and it is very important concept to know. Object oriented programming has some features. Invariably class is the most important part, class concept. Then we have polymorphism, then we have data hiding, accessibility, all this. Here we will talk about the class concept. Suppose we have mentioned one class called doctor and class, using the class and we have given name is equal to the string, and we have created one object of that particular class, doc is equal to doctor. Then we can give doc name, doc.name, we can print it and the string will be printed, or else we can use the name of the class and doctor.name, it will print the same thing. Here name is a variable or the data member, we can say, within the class doctor, and also we can print it in formatted way, doctor.name welcomes you all. So here it will give the statement and then it will print welcomes you all. Again, in the class person, we can see that def double underscore init double underscore, it is considering three parameters, that is self, comma name, comma age. Here name and age are the two data member variables of the class person, and using the self.name, it is self using as an object, self.name is equal to name and self.age is equal to age. That means whatever value we will give, that will be assigned to the name and age. In the next line you can see p1.person John, comma 36. So John is a string and 36 is a number, numeric value. Here p1 is an object of the person, and here person function is actually acting as a constructor. The constructor we call a particular function which is having the same name as the class. So here person is acting as a constructor and John is the string and comma 36. So here p1 dot name will be assigned a value called John and p1 dot age will be assigned a value called 36. In this example, we can see we are declaring one class called class 1 and we are creating one data member function m.self. M within bracket self. Self is an object of that particular instance of that particular class, class 1, and we have given a statement called print in class 1, and we have created another class called class 2 and we have given class 1. That means class 2 is inherited from class 1, and we have mentioned another data member function within the class 2, that is def m self, and print in class 2, and again we have created another class, class 3, and within bracket we have given class 1. That means class 3 again is created from class 1. So we can see from this example that class 1 has two siblings, that is class 2 and class 3. So class 1 is the parent class and class 2 and 3 are the child classes, and it is giving the multiple inheritance, means two classes are derived from a single class. Now again we have created another class called class 4, and here we have given class 3 comma class 2 within parenthesis. That means class 4 is created from both class 3 and class 2. So here we can see a single class is created from two classes. Now we have created one object of class 4, and using that object we have called the aim method. Now here interestingly it will call first the class 3 method. Okay, it will call the class 3 method and it will not call any other thing, as because we have mentioned pass. Otherwise, if we would have mentioned one data member function within class 4, then it would have called first the class 3 of data member function, then the class 2 data member function, then the class 4 data member function. Okay, now here you can see from here we have mentioned one data member function within class 4, and again we have called class 2.m method and class 3.m method. We all know that we can call it by the name of the class. So here class 2 is calling the method m and class 3 also is calling the method m, and at the end we have created the object of class 4 and we have called the method m using that obj object. Now here what will happen? Here first it will call the class 2 method, as because class 4 is inherited from class 2. Class 2 is written first, then class 3 is written, class 2 comma class 3. So dear students, it's very important to understand this concept, because if we would have written class 3 comma class 2, then the class 3 object data member method would have called first, but here we have mentioned class 2 comma class 3, so that's why the class 2 data member will be called first. Then we can see from the class 2 within that class 2, the def m class is mentioned. That not class, def m data member function. Def m data member function is mentioned within that class. So class 1 is again, class 2 is again inherited from class 1. So again, after calling the method of class 2, it will call the method of class 1. Okay, so class 4 is derived from class 2 and class 3, and sequentially it is written class 2 comma class 3. So it will call the method of class 2. Then class 2 is again derived from class 1. So it will call the method of class 1. Then again the class 3 method is written. Class 3 method will be called by class 3.m, and again class 3 is derived from class 1. So again class 1 method will be called. So in this way it will call first class 2 m method, then class 1 m method, then class 3 m method, then class 1 m method. So it will be the output. And if we would have given super.m, then it would have called it directly the class 1, because class 1 is the superclass. Thank you student for your participation. I hope you have understood the concept of class. You have understood how we have handled the errors in Python programming, and I hope these concepts are very much clear to you. And if you have any kind of doubt to clarify, please do not hesitate to reach me in the given email ID. Thank you.